G'day, welcome back to another video. This one's a continuation of the previous video that I uploaded, the week in a life of a small business owner video, except this one's like the Sunday version because in the last video there was nothing for me to pack orders wise. So today, because it's been a pretty good week, we're going to pack some orders and then we're going to do the reconciliation. So on Sunday I pack my plant orders. If there's any other orders throughout the week like a shirt or a notebook or something like that, I can just ship it the next day regardless of what day it is. But for plants, it's either Sunday packing or Monday packing. I don't ship any other days except Monday and Tuesday, so I pack the day before. On a Sunday in the middle of the day, nobody's ever home, so I just take over the kitchen, pack it all up in here, take it down, and then we do the whole postage labels and stuff on Australia Post's website, which I'll also show you all of that today. I've already gone ahead and got the bucket that I put the soil into when I shake the soil off the roots of the plants, and I got some moss here that I wrap around the roots when I put them in the little Ziploc baggie to send them away. So the first thing we're going to do is go and get the plants out of the greenhouse that people have ordered. So I have to go in here and try and find the plants that people have ordered. There's no ordering system in there. I literally go in there and from memory try and remember where I put things. To know what plants I need to pick, I either go onto the computer and I go onto the Shopify website and look at the person's order. Sometimes if it's a really big order, I'll print out the packing slip. That way I can bring it out here with me and just check through it as I find the plants. But I usually just go onto the Shopify app and look at it that way. I'll show you as much as I can without breaking any privacy sort of things, which involves names and stuff. I'll show you this one order as an example. It's Syngonium rayi, Ficus villosa, Epipremnum pinnatum Baltic blue, Begonia irene nuss, and Piper portophyllum. I think that's how you say that. Porphyrophyllum. Who knows? So what I do is I go in there, try and find them. From memory, the rayi is over there. The Piper's that one. Baltic blue all the way down the bottom. Irene nuss is right here. And what am I missing? The Ficus villosa is also on that shelf there. So I have a pretty good memory, I have to. So I'm gonna grab those and then we'll be back inside. The next thing that I'll do is I'll go through and make sure each of the plants has an allocated name tag. I always ship those to the customers as well. I think only about half of the people actually keep them, but they cost me barely any money, so I don't mind doing it. But it's also like, I'll show you. For example, this one, it has like the logo on it and it has the website down the bottom. So it's just another marketing thing as well, I think. But also I think people just sometimes like to know or look at what the plant's called if they forget, because Lord knows I forget the names of plants every now and then too. So I'll go through and I'll open the notes app on my phone. I'll go through and I'll look at each individual plant and I'll just take note of what is missing a tag, and I'll show you. So for example, I can see that this Piper is missing a tag, whereas these other ones, like this one, has one. So I'll make note and I'll be like, Piper X1. And then I'll look for another one. Philolupinum X1. So on and so forth until I've got all of those written down, so then I can go and print them out. That wasn't too bad. I only had 3 that were missing labels. So now I'll go down and I'll print them out. Lately I've been going through and adding the tags into the plants as I propagate them, but a lot of them still don't have that. So I've got to go through and finish doing that, so then when I have driveway sales and stuff, they will already have tags and I won't have to rush around and do it prior to having the sale. But now I'll show you how I do the labels, I suppose. Why not? So I use a Godex printer, I think it's called. It's a pretty universal printer when it comes to labels and postage labels for Australia Post and things like that. I don't use it for Australia Post because I can't be bothered pulling the tags in and out every time I want to switch them around. So I just use this one for the plant labels. I'll probably end up getting a second one for the Australia postings, but for right now I just print them out on paper and cut them out. It's very simple, very easy. So for this, I'll show you, if you look at the screen right now, I've been going through and cataloging all of the plants that I have so that when I do need to print out a label, it's already there and I don't need to mess around with it too much. Just makes my life easier, so then when I'm in a rush, I can just quickly print out the labels. I haven't got it set up properly. I don't really know how to use it. I just sort of winged it to begin with when I initially set it up because I bought mine secondhand. So I've had to customize the layout of the tags to fit because it's not aligned properly, but I'll show you what I mean. So we're looking for a Piper, there, that one. However you say that last word. So we're inside of the, there you go, it's a Go Label 2, that's what it's called. We're inside of the label maker now, and as you can see, everything's not completely centered because I don't know how to center it on the printer, so I've had to move everything down slightly, but it works for me. So I literally just come up here and I click print. Then it will print one out over there and I'll just get it. And then I'll go ahead and do it with the Philodendron lupinum and the Philodendron splendid. I'm so glad that I sold that plant. That's been sitting in the greenhouse for like over a year. It's so big. I even put it on like a super cheap discount just to get rid of it. So now we have those. Now we'll come over and grab the tickets. See, over here, cute. Rip them off. Love that. Focus. There we go. See? Beautiful. Now let's go pack an order. I also sometimes sell cuttings of plants. Super cheap because people like cheap. So this customer's also bought these two little cuttings. So the way I pack cuttings is I literally just get a piece of paper towel. I'll wet it. I make sure it's basically dripping wet. It's about to drip. There you go. Because these plants have just come out of water, so you want to keep them sort of wet. And then I'll literally sit it on like that. I'll put them both in there actually. You know, recycle, save on waste. And then I wrap it around. This leaf is too big. I just keep wrapping it around and then it's dripping everywhere. And then in a little Ziploc bag, I'll chuck it in there like that. Usually I'll put it all the way over the side. I usually try and keep the leaves above it a little bit. Do it all the way up. Put the tags in. Bam. There's two there. Chuck them in there. And then yeah, that will just go in. Well, usually I'll fold it up a little bit, you know, whatever. Then that will go in the box with the customer's order. But this order that I want to show you is just one plant. This customer ordered one plant, which is like pretty uncommon. Usually people will binge and just buy a fair few, but whatever, not even complaining. They bought a Monstera obliqua filamentosa, whatever you want to call that. So I'll show you the process of packing that. Let's tilt you down a little bit, yeah? So you can see better. Whoop. What a fun angle. So I'll get the bag, I'll get it all ready, get out of the way. And what I do is I squash it down like that and have it open on the counter. I'll get some sticky tape, a big long piece, like that. Hang that off the side of the counter, like that. Then I'll get the plant, turn you around here a bit, and then I'll upend it. So then it's just out. Hello, where are you there? Hi. And then shake it so then all of the little excess soil comes off. And then we grab the moss like that and just wrap it around. Try and keep all the roots in the center of the moss if possible. Sometimes if a plant has so many roots, it's near impossible. Then we get it in the bag. Again, keeping the leaves above because we want them to be able to breathe. Close it if it wants to close. And then I always try and fold the corners in like this, and then the bottom corners as well. Then the tape that we pulled earlier comes in handy. Put that on. Don't come undone on me. Wrap that around a few times. And then I get the ticket. I always put it so then the label is facing inwards because I'm worried that the tape will rip the name off the tag. And then finish that off. And I always fold the end of it over so then people can easily sort of find that to rip the tape off. Yeah, see, I've been putting the price on the back. If people shop in person, they can see the prices on the back. But this one was on a special on the website, so they actually got it for $60, not 65. Hello, I've moved you over to the oven for this part. I feel like it's going to be easier to see. So we get a box, we build the box, we get the tape, then we flip it over, then we get this really good, super strong tape. We get a little bit, fold it over onto itself to make like double-sided tape essentially. We stick one on the back, and then we stick one on like the bottom of it, I guess, like the other side. So like you got one on the back, well, where's the camera? One on the back and then one on the bottom. So then this will then get jammed right up into the corner and the bottom of the box. So then that ain't going anywhere ever. You know what I mean? Like it's really strong tape. So before I fill the box with packing peanuts, I make sure to check if the customer has bought from me before or not. If they haven't bought from me before, because you can see it on the Shopify website, I'll show you. It tells you if they've had like 1 or 2 or 3 orders, blah, 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 in the past. So if they haven't bought from me before, I have this printout. Which way is going to be good for you? This way. And it's basically care for your plants if you've got cuttings or if you've got the bare rooted plants. This customer's got bare rooted, so if they wanted to find out what's best for the plant, maybe it was that way that you're meant to be looking. Anyway, they would scan the QR code for the bare rooted plants one. And then I chuck in a business card with a QR code that takes them to my link tree that has all of the information that they would like the YouTube channel, all of that sort of stuff. I chuck it in the box down the side, like that, and then I fill it with packing peanuts. Then we just fold it all up, sticker tape it up, then I'll get a scale, a kitchen scale or whatever you want to call it, make sure it's set on grams. Then I'll weigh it. This one's going to be so light. Love that. So it's 185 grams. You can't see that, but then I'll write the customer's name, just their first name, usually. His name's actually John. Well, you can't even see. His name's John, and it was 185 grams. I write that on there so that when I go onto the Australia Post website, I can remember. I'm going to go ahead now and pack the rest of these orders, but then when I'm finished that, we'll go down and I'll put it through the Australia website with you and show you that whole process. So, be back in a second for you. It's going to take me maybe an hour or 2 to do all of this. So from the Australia Post, my business homepage, you click create an order. I'm on band 1 at the minute because it's been a long time since I've actually posted anything. I've dropped down. I'm usually on band 2. So, yeah, because it's been quiet in February, I've dropped down a band. It goes off monthly spendings. If you spend over $250 on shipping, you go up to band 2. So usually I'm on band 2. So keep that in mind. So yeah, you click create an order. And then without giving away any information, I'm going to go ahead and enter the customer's name. I just go over to Shopify and copy it over. Like right click, copy paste. So I'm going to do that now and move on down a little bit so you don't see any of that stuff. A little fun fact about this order that I'm doing right now is it's actually the owner of the other nursery, Plant and Leaf. His name's Phil. I've bought from him so many times. So it's actually kind of cool to have another nursery plant store owner buy from me. Like that's pretty cool. Full circle moment, really. So I can show you this part. This is the parcel details section. So you go through and you put in what you need to put in. Does this parcel contain dangerous goods? No. Description, it's optional. I always do it anyway, so I just write live indoor plants. In the packaging section, I select my own packaging. Australia Post boxes, very, very overpriced. Don't do that. Buy a wholesaler if you're going to have your own little business. The weight, remember we wrote it on the box before. It goes in kilos and I'm measuring grams, so you just put a 0 first, which was, what was it? 0.730. And then we have to measure the box, which is always fun. Something that always screwed me up, and if you stuff it up with Australia Post, they charge you later, is the length and the width. I always used to get that mixed up. The length is the long part of the box, go figure, and the width is the other side, and obviously that's height. I didn't think it mattered, to be honest with you, but apparently it does, and they charge you differently and additionally if you stuff it up. So the length of this box is, and it goes in centimeters, so it's 28.5. I can't see, 28.5. The width is 19. Again, I can't see, so I'm guessing, yeah. And the height is 40.5. The reason I don't have all of these pre-saved for my boxes is because it changes with how the boxes fold. The boxes aren't completely uniform in how they fold. Sometimes they're a bit crooked, sometimes they're a little bit longer, like 0.5 centimeters longer, so it just changes. And I don't know if it matters on the website. I'm sure there's categories kind of thing, but just to cover my ass, yeah. But as you can see, like full disclosure, transparency, I mean, I charge $20 for shipping. Express Post, $18.95. That's $1.05 that I wouldn't even say it's profit, because then this will go into like buying more packing materials and boxes and things like that. So I really don't make anything from shipping. If anything, most of the time, not most of the time, if anything, sometimes I even lose money. If it goes over $20, I'm losing money. So yeah, shipping is a nightmare. I mentioned that in the last video, but just for proof, you've seen now. So yeah, the total, $18.95, and then you just save the order. And then I'll show you, once I put the other orders in, the next part. So now, I'm not going to record the screen because there's not much you can see on here, because I've got to download the tax invoice, which has all of their information on it. I print that out for the whole reconciliation thing that I'll end up showing you. So that's going to print now. And then I've got to print the labels, which is the ones that go on the boxes that have their address and stuff on it. So I'll do that now. And then down the bottom of the page, again, can't show you, it's got all of their addresses and stuff, but then you can click the copy tracking number and then you paste it into their order on Shopify, and then they will get an email saying that a label's been created for the thing and everything's starting to have the wheels in motion, which is what you want for the customers, because then they can sort of like, you know, have reassurance that their order is actually getting packed. Especially because for some reason I get a lot of orders on Wednesday, which is the day after the last day that I ship. Last day I ship for the week is on Tuesday. So I get orders on Wednesday, and I always worry that like customers are going to think that I've forgotten about their order. So for them to then get an email or a SMS or whatever, letting them know that their order's being packed, then yeah, it's peace of mind for me, and I'm sure it's peace of mind for them too. So the tracking numbers and all that I've printed out. I'm wobbling it around so you can't see anything. Not that anyone would really care, I don't imagine. So then I go through and I cut them up with my trusty little scissors. Then I will find the person whose order it is, put them aside for now, and then I'll stick their thingy on the top of the box without, like, you know, showing too much. I'm so paranoid about getting in trouble about showing people's personal information. I'm just doing my best out here, you know. This, which is always loud. Oh, that time it wasn't. Stick all this down. Then, once that's on there, I get this fragile tape, because plants are fragile. Get about that much or so, whatever. Chuck that on the box. Then I get this Express Post tape that you can just get at like the Australia Post. You just go in there and ask for some and they give it to you for free. That didn't tear properly, but what are you going to do? And then I'll chuck that on there as well. Just one. You only need one. You don't even need any because the top of the thing actually has Express Post on it, but whatever. And then, because I don't have custom boxes, who has the money? Am I right? I then get like my own little stickers that I've got made and chuck them on the boxes. Cute. These smaller boxes actually get full so quick, so sometimes I'll like stick them on the side, but we're not doing that today. It's all going on the top, whatever. It's very crowded, but that's what a box looks like when you get it. That one there says, keep out of the sun. Live indoor plants, please keep out of the sun. And then yeah, that's how I pack the orders. Did I just show it? Hopeless. So I'll finish off doing these and then I'll come back when we do the reconciliation for the week. Okay, so reconciliation. You need to do your reconciliation for tax purposes in case you get audited and things like that. You need to make sure that all your receipts and invoices and things like that all add up to what's in your bank account. And so that, yeah, you can trace everything back to where it came from. That's why you've got to keep all your receipts and things like that. There's multiple different ways that you can do this. There's plenty of different types of software. I personally just use Excel, Microsoft Excel, and the ATO app. A lot of people use Xero or MYOB, things like that. I'm just not at that level that I need to be doing something like that. A lot of people that scan barcodes and things like that will have a completely different system than what I've got. The way I do it is ideal for people who have a really small business, basically. So I'll show you what I do for tracking the sales first. For privacy reasons, obviously, I won't be including anyone's real names or anything like that. So on the screen, you'll see that this is my Excel spreadsheet. At the top, we have the first name, last name, full name, what they bought, how much I listed it for, and if it's on sale, how much they bought it for, how much they paid for shipping, or if I deliver it, then they will pay for delivery as well. Fees, so like Stripe, which is the big credit card company thing, or PayPal, eBay fees, things like that. Whatever fees I pay for where I list it, go there. Where they purchased it from, whether it was in person or on the website or Facebook or eBay, places like that. The date and any notes that I have, like if there was like a sale on, like a 30% off sale or something like that, I'll chuck that there just to then explain why they got the plant cheaper rather than what it was listed for. So things like that. And I've also got it set up so that if it's a repeat customer, their name will pop up green. And if it's a repeat plant, it'll pop up a different color as well. That way I can sort of track if people have bought from me before and what plants are the most popular. So then if a customer pops up and I want to have a conversation with them or whatever, I can be like, oh, well, how's this plant going? Things like that. Just helps to build rapport. So for the sake of showing you all of this, I'm not going to show names and stuff. So we'll put like Sponge Bob, and then their full name is SpongeBob. The item that they bought was a philodendron lemon lime. So someone's already bought that plant before, so that's why that's showing up green now. I listed it for $10. They paid $10. I don't add the shipping fee until the very end of their order. I'll show you what I mean. Same with fees. They purchased it from the website, and they purchased it on the 7th of March, 25. We'll do that in reverse because it's easier than going back all the way to the start. And the good thing with Excel is if you start writing something and you've already written it before, it will already know what you're going to say and it just fills it out for you. They also bought a philodendron equatorial flatleaf, which is a weird name for a plant, I know. SpongeBob bought it. It'll show up green because SpongeBob's bought from me before. I'm not in love with that, to be honest. I would like, going into the new financial year, I think I'm going to change the way that I do it. and find out if I can somehow have it like a drop down or something for each customer, because sometimes, say this person bought the philodendron flat leaf, maybe they bought like 3 for one order. I will then write that out 3 times, and I just feel like that's a bit redundant. So I'm going to find out if there's a different way that I can be doing this, so then it makes it easier. Because if there's a big week where I have a lot of orders and stuff, this can take hours. And I only do it once a week too. So a lot of people just do it once a month. I find if I do it once a week, it's way easier to keep on top of. This won't be too long. I picked one with only 5 plants in it, so it'll give you a good example of what it's like when there's duplicates, and then showing you how I finalize that sort of stuff, if that makes sense. They bought an Epipremnum pinnatum Baltic Blue. SpongeBob bought it. Kind of annoying because I'm going to have to go back and change this to the real person's name when I'm finished, but it is what it is. Won't take too long. SpongeBob also bought a Philodendron Splendid for $15. So this is where I put in the extra stuff. They paid $20 for shipping. They they also gave me a tip. I'm just now seeing that. Thanks, Carla. $7 tip, love that. So the fees, it's all changed. When I was on Squarespace, it was completely different. You could just see the fees straight in your face, but Shopify's a bit different. Okay, well, for some reason, Afterpay doesn't charge fees, unless I'm not seeing it somewhere. Whatever, we'll move on then. So website, and they purchased it on the same date. And then we're going to write that they gave a $7 tip, was it? Yeah, $7 tip. That's so nice. I'm going to actually email her and thank her for that. I didn't even notice until just now. Someone told me that unless something exists 3 different ways, then it doesn't exist at all. So for me, I use the computer, like this Excel thing. I have the physical receipts, and then I use the ATO app. The ATO app is really cool because you can go on there, put your receipts and all that stuff in there, and then come tax time, you can then just submit it to your accountant, and then they can just do it all like that for you. Really cool. I'll actually show you. I'll screen record, and then I'll do it now without giving away too much information, I suppose. We'll see what happens. So in the app, I'm not going to show you this part, you click Add New, and then you'll click Add New Business Income. And now I can show you this stuff. You click Add Photo. So you take the photo. I actually can't show you this because it's all of their personal information. So once we've added, once we've taken a photo of the actual receipt, we'll put in the amount that we received. So we received $97. And then the transaction date was on the 7th of March. And then we don't have GST, so don't include that. And then we have it as online payment. And the description of the income, I always write plant sales or whatever the sale was. But if I have fees, then I will say the fees as well. I don't know why, just to protect myself, cover my ass kind of thing. And then you click save. That's all you've got to do. And it's exactly the same with the expenses. So I'll show you the expenses when we get to that, which will be very soon actually, because I'm not going to show you the whole process of this. I'm just going to show you an example of each one. So yeah, let's move on to expenses. So now I'm going to show you the expenses side of things. It's very similar to the income side of things, but the spreadsheet looks a little bit different. And when I do it through the ATO, it also looks a little bit different. So my battery on my camera is about to die, so let's fly through this, yeah? So on here, there's like a massive amount of different types of things that I have written down, but for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna go into too many details because the battery, again, dying. So for this one, we're going to use a Canva invoice. So we're going to just start a new line there. So what we do is we say what it is. It's a Canva subscription. It's from, this is where we say where it's from. So it's from Canva. I'm also realizing that I have this invoice for February. That's why we're doing it now. and I was charged on the 26th of the 2nd, 25. There was only one of them. This is the quantity. I'm realizing that I'm pointing at the screen like you can see, but up the top it shows you what it is, where it's from, the date, the quantity, the estimated price, and then the actual price, then the difference, and then any notes. So this one, my estimate for it was $17.99 because that's how much the Canva subscription costs, and I paid $17.99, which is good. So there's no difference and there's no notes because it's what I was expecting. And underneath you will see that there's these two numbers. This automatically tallies up if there's like this one up here, whatever it is. I'm not scrolling up, I can't be bothered. That's how much I paid, but that's how much I was expecting to pay. That's how much I actually paid. So down the bottom here, it shows how much I was expected to pay for the month, and then how much I actually spent this month, and then how much profit or loss I've made. So I've actually made $1.33 profit from whatever was up cheaper here. So that's literally all I do on the Excel side of things. On the app, again, I will show you. We go add new again, add expense. Again, we take a photo. Same process, but this one's slightly different. There was no GST included in this one, so we turn that off. And then the amount I paid was $17.99. The transaction date was the 26th of Feb. And then the Canva subscription. And then 100% claimable, yes, because I 100% use it for the business. And then the expense type, it's not a motor vehicle expense, it's not a repairs and maintenance, not decide later, it's all other expenses. And then you just save it. And that's it for what you do with the expenses type of thing. That's all I do anyway. There's different ways of doing things out there. Depends on how big your business is and what you hope to achieve. But I'm going to wrap this video up now. It's a shame that I didn't get to put all of this in the other video, but it was already very long. It went for, I think it was like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that, which is insane for a video. But a few people have sat through it and watched the whole thing, so kudos to those people. But yeah, I hope you found this video informative. This is the type of thing that a lot of people don't ever show. People never show this type of stuff. So I'm more than happy to show a behind the scenes look at certain things as long as it's not invading anybody's privacy, because it's very important to me. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully the next one will be more like Plantier related things, because I know that's what people are here for. Bye.